Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope so. So here we are into my 5th year and of course another edition of Ask Mr. Duncan, where you, the student watching me, gets to ask a question or make a comment about the English language or my work here on YouTube. So without any more messing about, let's have our first question for today. What are the differences between recently and latterly? This question was sent in by Janelle, who lives in Azerbaijan. First of all, it is worth noting that these two words have similar meanings and can be used as synonyms. When we use recently, we are talking about an event or occurrence that has happened a short time ago. A recent event, something from a short while ago. When we use latterly, we are stating the most recent event or occurrence. So latterly means latest or of recent times. The most recent, the latest, up until now. It is worth remembering that the word latter relates to the final item or event. In this sense, it is closer to last or final in meaning. Thank you for your question, Janelle, and a big hello to you and everyone watching in Azerbaijan. A nice email. I have received a nice email from Dana, who lives in Kazakhstan. Dana has followed all my lessons and thanks me for making them. There are also some questions for me to answer, including one asking, what is your favourite quote? Well, there are so many it would be hard to choose one, as quotes in general can relate to so many different aspects of life and hold so many meanings. It would be hard to single out just one. However, you will find many of my favourite quotes and segments from literature being used in my lessons. Lines from plays and sonnets by Shakespeare in particular can be found in some of my videos. Thanks for your kind words, Dana, and a big hello to you and all those watching in Kazakhstan. I need to learn English quickly. Is this possible? This question comes from Adriana, who lives in Colombia. To be honest, there is no definite answer to this question. It is rather like asking how long a piece of string is, or how wide is the sea. When it comes to learning, you only get from it what you put in. Of course, I'm talking about the amount of time you study for every day, and the effort you must put into doing it. You can have all the dictionaries in the world and learn nothing, or a piece of paper with a few lines of English written on it and learn a lot. There are no guaranteed methods of or shortcut routes to learning English. As I have mentioned before, to learn fast means to study intently with full concentration. But even then, the time needed is not short. From your email, Adriana, I feel your level of English is not as bad as you think, which leads me to my next point. How well you progress with your learning can often be affected by the way you view your own progress. From my own experience of teaching in the classroom, I have found that many students tend to underestimate their own abilities. To learn how can only happen if you are aware of your progress, how well you are learning and how much you have improved. It is common for English language students to believe they are doing much worse than they actually are. The reason for this is that learning anything is a gradual thing and happens over time. This can lead a student to believe they are not doing as well as they think, when in fact the opposite is the case. So perhaps, Adriana, your level of English is better than you believe. Do not be afraid to feel proud of your progress. As a way of helping you move on, I have what I like to call my R list. Read, review, remember, relax. To learn anything takes time, and English is no exception. Hopefully my video lessons will help you to do all of these things. Remember, to study well, you only get from it what you have put in. Time, effort, and a belief in your own abilities. An interesting email and photo. I have received a very interesting email and photograph from Jaroslaw, who lives in Poland and works as an airline pilot. Thank you for your very kind comments about my lessons and about me. Oh look, I'm getting all embarrassed now. Besides the compliments, Jaroslaw has also sent me a photograph taken in the cockpit of a plane and poses a question about it. What is the most important thing in this photograph? Let's take a look. Can you see anything useful there? Oh look, there's me on your monitor, or is it an iPad, talking about the world of English while you are flying around the world. What a great way to travel. Thank you, Jaroslaw, for your kind words and the picture of your cockpit, and a big hello to you up there in the clouds. Prepositions are so confusing. Can you explain the uses of to and for? This question was sent in by Pietro, who lives in Italy. As I mentioned in lesson 64, prepositions do cause a lot of problems for those learning English. The smallest and the most frequently used ones tend to be the worst ones to figure out. For example, to and for. Of course, one relates to actual directional actions, while the other defines verbal actions. I gave it to you. I saved it for you. As you can see from these examples, to shows the direction and for shows the action. Give to, gave to, save for, saved for. Of course, for can also relate to direction and action. Go for someone. This means to move towards a person suddenly, maybe to hit or attack them. This multi-use of certain prepositions is what makes them so confusing. I will be taking another look at prepositions in a later lesson, so keep a lookout for that. Another interesting email. I receive many email messages every day from students all over the world, and here's another one from Cave Joe, who lives in China. As many of you will know, I spent 4 years living and working in China, and it was my personal experience of teaching there that led me to start making these tutorial videos. Cave loves watching my lessons but finds it very frustrating that my videos cannot be viewed in China. Well, the problem is not with my videos, but from the fact that YouTube itself is blocked in mainland China. This has now been the case for over 2.5 years. Some social media sites have also been blocked in China, including Facebook and Twitter. I suppose there is an irony in the fact that through my time spent working in China, I'm now able to teach a much larger group on the internet, while the students I taught in China are now unable to see the results of the wonderful time I had there. Sadly, there is nothing I can do about this. I am but a small man, and the powers that be will always be the powers that do. I would like to wish you good luck, Cave, with your studies, assuming, of course, that you can see this. Can you explain the uses of who, whose, and whose? This question was sent in by Anna, who lives in Sweden. The word who relates to an individual person. Their identity can be unknown or known. Who is it? Misterduncan, who teaches English on YouTube. The words whose and whose are both variations of this word. Whose is used both possessively and as a determiner. The word expresses the relationship between one thing and another. the ownership of something, the relationship between two things. It can be used in the form of a question. Whose baby is this? Whose clothes are these? Whose daughter are you dating now? The other whose is a contraction of who is or who was. Who's coming with us? Do you know who's coming? Who's that girl I saw you with? Finally, let us not forget whom. This pronoun is used to introduce a question, asking about the identity of a person or people. Whom did you expect to see? To whom am I speaking? These days, whom is seen as a little too formal, and because of this, is used a lot less. A sparkly proverb. As you know, I love sentences with meaning, such as proverbs and quotes. Today I have a proverbial English sentence for you. All that glitters is not gold. This sentence helps us to remember that just because something looks valuable or useful on the outside, it may in fact be worth nothing and completely useless. These crunchy bar wrappers look enticing and valuable, but sadly they're only made of plastic. It just goes to show all that glitters is not gold. Another nice email. What's the matter, little bird? Do you want to go for a fly? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, fly away! Come. I have received a nice email from Do Van Thiep, who lives in Vietnam. Do Van studies at the Foreign Trade University in Hanoi and asks if it would be possible for me to spare some time and visit Vietnam in the future. Well, as you all know, I do enjoy travelling, although this year I have not done much, mainly due to the fact that I've been busy here in England filming new lessons. However, next year I would like to do some more overseas travelling. So if there is a place in the world you can suggest for me to visit, then send me an email with your suggestion. And who knows, in 2012 I could be dropping in on you. It's that time again. Ladies and gentlemen, grandmas and granddads, children of all ages, fluffy animals with big glassy eyes. It's that moment again. They tried to ban it. They wanted to stop it. They really did not like it much. But it's here again to make you gasp and gulp. It's the word of the week. This week's word is paraphernalia. This word is a noun and is used to describe your things or your belongings, items needed to perform a task, such as tools, general stuff which you have around you, your bits and pieces, the gear you need for your job, a collection of useless items grouped together. The word originates from the Greek parapherna, which means the property owned by a married woman. How do I make my voice stronger and clearer? This question comes from Najuin Hui Huang, who lives in Korea and has also sent me a recording of his voice. When it comes to speaking English as a second language, there will be some immediate problems. Not all English sounds are used in other languages, and vice versa. So there will be a chance that the student will not be able to make them all. A common one is the TH sound used in the, that, and this. It is common for students to say z, zat, and zis. Another problem is the spacing between syllables. Some words need to be spoken clearly, and each syllable needs to be heard, or else the word will sound unclear and mumbled. For example, the word injunction has 3 syllables. They must all be spoken clearly. The level of speech is also important, but there is no need to shout or overuse your voice, as this will make the words sound forced and stilted. As I have mentioned in previous lessons, you must get used to the sound of your own voice. Record yourself onto a tape or MP3 recorder and then play it back. This will help you to find out where your problems are. Write down some words with more than 2 syllables and read them out. Words such as appreciation, contradict, decision, fanatic, globalization, prediction, as well as many others, can help you to improve the overall clarity and crispness of your voice. Do it as many times as you want until you are happy with it. I would also encourage oral English teachers to use this method in their classrooms as a means of building confidence among their students. Sharing the experience of learning can be a great way to teach. Almost time to say ta-ta. So shiny. Before I leave you today, I would like to say a big hello to all those who wrote to congratulate me on the 5th anniversary of my first ever YouTube video upload. A big hi also to those who have decided to subscribe to my main channel, Duncan in China. Don't forget there is also a separate channel that features all my Ask Mr. Duncan videos. The name of that channel, unsurprisingly, is Ask Mr. Duncan. That is all from me for today. I look forward to seeing you around, be it on my Facebook page or following my daily updates on Twitter. However you keep in touch, this is Mr. Duncan in England saying thank you for watching me answering you. And of course, ta-ta for now.
Mm.